everyone. So when the Lakers traded for D'Angelo Russell, he was supposed to come in and be part of like the Lakers' big three. He was supposed to be that third guy, that scoring option, that playmaker to kind of help LeBron, right? That was the idea when the Lakers got Dennis Schroeder a couple years ago, ended up trading for Russell Westbrook. They wanted that secondary playmaker, a guy that could play off the ball, on the ball, shoot, be a three-level scorer, and they got that in D'Angelo Russell. And during the regular season, he was great. He was dealing and kind of in and out of the lineup with injuries. He was a guy that still was giving us 17 a night on 50% from the floor, 42% from three, and looked prime and ready to help lead us in the playoffs, right? And be that third guy. But he just was really inconsistent throughout the course of these playoffs. He had some great games, some huge games, especially at home. He was really good. He had that one game that literally saved the season for the Lakers and just completely took over down the stretch. And he just never really seemed to be able to put together and string together several games. Now, some of that could have been lack of just consistency amongst the team, right? This team as a whole seemed very inconsistent through game in and game out, right? One game, they look like the best team in the league. Next game, they look like a team that shouldn't even be in the playoffs. And so that can kind of be contagious. That could kind of go into lack of chemistry and just development, right? This team had, like 6 weeks to figure it out. And they were able to expedite and get to the Western Conference Finals, which was a huge feat in and of itself. And maybe next year with D'Angelo Russell, he can kind of get back into the groove of things. You'd imagine he'd be healthier. How much was actually affecting him due to the injury? We didn't really hear much about injury, but we did hear before the playoffs began that D'Angelo Russell had a foot injury and that he was going to have to manage it throughout the entirety of the playoffs. So that could have been a contributing factor. Could have just also been the moment, right? Problem is that when you're talking about the moment, usually guys just don't show up, period. He was just inconsistent. And that is why I kind of lean towards, I don't think it was necessarily the moment. I think it's just him as a player and that lack of consistency. Another full year, maybe he could get back to being consistent and be a key piece. But I see a lot of people that really want D'Angelo Russell off the team, right? Let him go, let him walk. He's not worth the money. And now, the moment we traded for him, I said that he wasn't worth $30 million. I thought he was 20, 25 million, somewhere around there. Now, after this performance, probably closer to 20 million. But the Lakers can't just let him walk. They can't, because the Lakers won't have any salary to replace him. It's not like they could let D'Lo walk and go, oh, now we have 30 million to offer Kyrie Irving. Doesn't work like that, right? The Lakers, if they let him go, they basically lose him for nothing, and they have no way to replace him. And he is at least still a player that could be a piece on this Lakers team during the regular season and then in the playoffs. Once you have him under contract, who cares how he feels? Maybe you could even bring him off the bench. That was kind of the concern with him, is like, hey, if we bring him off the bench, we might end up losing him. He might end up leaving and going elsewhere. So Darvin Ham kind of stuck with him to hope that he would turn it around, but also to kind of instill confidence in him so he sticks around. The only way that we could get off of D'Angelo Russell would be in a sign and trade. Something like Kyrie Irving or Damian Lillard. Again, not saying the Lakers get either of them, not saying that this trade happens, but just using them as an example. If the Lakers did want to move off of D'Angelo Russell for somebody more consistent, it would have to be a trade, sign and trade. Right? Maybe it's something, if it's not Kyrie and it's not Damian Lillard, maybe it's a Trae Young or something like that. Maybe you could trade D'Lo and Beasley along with 2 firsts and go get a Trae Young. Something along those lines, right? That could be a real possibility for the Lakers. But more likely than not, the Lakers will probably keep D'Lo next year. Kind of give him a full season, a full training camp, allow him to work on things, right? Don't just give up on him right away. He's still, again, a piece that, look, the Lakers were undefeated when he scored 17 points. And that is for a reason. If he can, we don't need him to be a 30-point-a-game scorer because we got LeBron James and Anthony Davis. They should be back and healthier next season. LeBron James, we know that he needed to have foot surgery. And he's very likely going to have foot surgery in the offseason. So I imagine a healthier, fresher LeBron James. D'Angelo Russell will take a lot of pressure off LeBron in the regular season. LeBron won't have to play as much on the ball. D'Lo still has a lot of value, even as just a playmaker and a guy that can shoot off the ball. Right? Once we get to the playoffs next year, Hopefully he can find a little more consistency than he did this year. But also, if the Lakers retool and do some things, then maybe there won't be as much pressure on him to be that third guy, right? We saw Austin Reeves and his consistency. The Lakers are going to keep Reeves. The Lakers are going to keep Rui. They got to keep D'Lo, right? If you can find a trade, maybe it's not even in the offseason. Maybe it's at around the trade deadline. Maybe somebody finally becomes available, right? Maybe Damian Lillard isn't available in the offseason, but maybe he is come the trade deadline because Portland is out of the playoffs again. And, he's like, all right, I'm done. Get me out of here type thing. That could be a real possibility, right? You never know. You never know what's on the horizon. Every year, there seems to be a new star, new player, new whatever that becomes available. Maybe the Lakers can make a push with D'Lo, especially if he's having a good year. If he's giving you 20 points on 50% from the field and 42% from three, maybe his value is high and a team looks at it and goes, hey, we're going to lose our 25-point-a-game guy. D'Lo's giving you 17 to 20 as a third option. Maybe he could give us 25 as like a first or second option, right? Maybe it's something that comes on the horizon, especially if they get some assets, things like that. I expect the Lakers to continue to look and be aggressive, right? Jeannie, as well as Rob, have both said that they want to be contenders, that they want to, Jeannie herself has said that I will pay whatever it costs if the Lakers are contenders. Well, guess what? The Lakers are contenders. They were in the Western Conference Finals. They beat two very good teams and just ran into a team that was more consistent, and that was the difference. And so I expect Jeannie to pony up, put up the money to retain Reeves, to retain Rui, keep D'Lo, and then Rob can work his magic and try to find a spot to maybe unload D'Lo and get back some quality pieces, or maybe you do some other deal. Maybe you take Malik Beasley and Mo Bamba along with your 2 firsts and go get a Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. Maybe that's what you do, right? That deal was on the table pretty much all of last season. The only reason the Indiana Pacers paid Miles Turner was because they needed to spend the money, or they had to spend it either way. So they gave him that contract. Maybe they do something like that. And now D'Lo, there's not that pressure for D'Lo to have to give you 17 and be consistent night in and night out, because you got another guy that can give you 15 to 20 a night in Buddy Hield, and another guy that can give you 15 to 20 a night in Miles Turner, right? And it allows D'Lo to kind of be a more playmaker role. That is definitely something that could be a possibility that we could see with the Lakers. But regardless, the Lakers, they can't just let D'Lo go. They can't just let him walk. You got to keep him. At worst case, he's on the team next year, and let's root for him. I had so many people that were like, oh, like you were wrong about D'Lo. D'Lo sucks, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, like he's on the Lakers. Like, why would I want to root against him? Right? D'Lo was good all regular season for us. He had some really brilliant moments in the playoffs. He just lacked the consistency. And look, if we didn't make the trade for D'Lo, we wouldn't even have been in the playoffs. So D'Lo helped us even in that regard. D'Lo literally helped us win a series. So I'm more than happy to thank D'Lo for his contribution. I would have liked him to be more consistent. I'm disappointed in him. I expected more from him. I wanted more from him. But he's a guy on the Lakers. I'm going to root for him to have success, because if he has success, then the Lakers are going to have success. Why would I want him to be a disaster on the Lakers? It just doesn't make any sense. Same thing with Malik Beasley. Like, so many people were like, Malik Beasley sucks, blah, blah. Like, maybe that's true, but why would I want to root for him to just say, oh, look, I was right? Like, it's silly. I'd rather him be successful, because if he's successful, then the Lakers are successful. That's how I look at it with D'Lo, LeBron, AD, Reeves, you name it, right? If a player is on the Lakers, I want that player to be successful. I want that player to be good, because if that player is good, then the Lakers are going to be good, right? So I want to root for D'Lo. I want D'Lo to bounce back and just show like, hey, this was an anomaly. Again, maybe it was the injury, right? I'm back, I'm fresh, I'm ready to go. D'Lo's revenge tour type thing. I'd love to see that and him have a great season, and Lakers are off to the races. But that being said, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think the Lakers should do with D'Angelo Russell? Again, you cannot just let him go. So Lakers either have to retain him, keep him around, probably pay him somewhere in the $20 million range, and keep him next season, give him a fair chance, give him another shot, a full season. Again, he was great in the regular season. And if the Lakers retool and stuff, maybe there's not as much pressure in the postseason, in the playoffs. So would you be willing to give D'Angelo Russell a fair shot? Do you think, no, you need to look for a trade? Maybe you try to go get another star. Maybe it's not another star, but it's another like mid-tier guy. Maybe you take D'Lo and go get a Terry Rozier and some other piece, right? Maybe you retool and kind of work this roster and kind of use D'Lo's salary to maybe go get two guys. There's options out there definitely, but again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comment section below.